The DreamHack Masters Spring 2020, baby. It has finally arrived, and so have we with it. Heroic taking on G2 to kick things off, to jumpstart your morning with a little jolt of electricity. And that is what we're going to be looking to harness right here within our desk, at least. And no, we have no Edisons. We have nobody specifically capable of controlling and maneuvering, making a light bulb even. But we do have Potter and Bled, and that's good enough for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this conversation started right where it should be. G2 taking on Heroic right here, right now.
Go on, Potter. Ladies first.
I was waiting for you to start. G2 versus Heroic.
Online Counter-Strike is hard. It is hard.
It is very hard.
Palms a little off, you know.
We were talking just about that, but I'm excited to see Heroic once again. I think G2 yesterday, it was quite a shit show of sorts, I have to say. I don't think they were expecting to lose that. I know I wasn't expecting for them to lose that versus North. So I think it was a bit of a wake-up call for them. I don't think today we're going to see them giving up quite as many rounds as they did yesterday. Now, on the Heroic side of things, it's a complete opposite. I was thoroughly impressed. We have to remember, we kept talking about Astralis coming in with a new fifth, but Heroic as well. They have a brand new lineup. Snappy, he's gone. The in-game leader, he's out of there. Estetag, their most long-standing member, he's no longer a part of this unit either. So this Heroic team, they're looking like a new unit with a new coach, and Hunden has whipped them into shape because Borup yesterday, he was popping off.
Yeah, apart from Borup as well, I mean, you got to point out Staven, right? The guy was an absolute beast in the server, and that against Astralis is no laughing matter. And even the losses, there were very, very close losses where Astralis, we had some of those players really having to pop off, really go ham and show what they're capable of as an individual to win that series. So I'm very impressed. And if I'm G2, I'm a little worried right now. I'm definitely worried right now because, like I said, they performed well. Kaden actually had a quiet game yesterday, and he hasn't had quiet games in the recent past. He's been very consistently good with the AWP. So if I'm G2, I'm a little wary of facing off against Heroic here today.
Especially G2 that we've seen that can be beaten, right? I mean, these guys, yeah, they're kind of at the top of their class, and you know they're doing great things within G2. We're seeing this lineup evolve and evolve and evolve, but they are beatable, and I think that needs to be driven home. It's not like we have a David and Goliath story here with Heroic being the smaller.
Yeah,
no,
I feel like
not.
G2 beat themselves. No, sorry, go ahead, Potter.
Please, you, Sudan. It's your turn.
All right, here's the thing with G2, right? I think they beat themselves up at times. I don't know if they're like into masochism or whatever, but it's weird. Looking at a Dust 2 game, it was painful to watch. They look so good in Inferno. It's like they switch on and off at times, and I don't know what's really going on there. And looking at the map builds, I know we're going to have the map video come up later on. It's worrisome right now for G2. They're going to play Overpass. Train is going to most likely get picked by Heroic because they were looking very sharp on Train on the TD side. They needed to fix a few things on the T side, and I think like on Train is a map that you could definitely take the fight to G2 on. Now, for G2, what's remaining? Inferno, they look good yesterday, but I think Heroic are comfortable on it. Then you probably now have a Nuke or a Dust 2, where
so that'll be Blez map predictions. And also, if we wanted to predict the outcome of this group, it just simply would not be that easy, would it, Christine? If we take a look at all the teams in this group and understand as to, well, who exactly they're stacked up against, this doesn't get any easier for the side of Heroic nor G2.
No, it absolutely doesn't. And I have to agree with Blair about that Train. I think Heroic absolutely had a chance, but 4 T rounds, they ended up in that first half down 11-4 versus an Astralis, but they deserved, I think, at least 2 more rounds on that aspect. So I think actually they're going to tackle that Train once again today, and they should have a better shot on that map than they did yesterday.
Well, Group A certainly underway, and so are we. We're going to get the chance to hear, the opportunity to hear from one of the teams right now. Let's check it out.
Playing G2 in such an important match is like it's very hard to play against them because they're such a great team right now. I think they're on their peak, and I'm really looking forward to them to play against them.
There'll be something in the back of their minds. A Burp. Close 2 kills. The bomb's gone down. That is a huge pass.
I love our new coach. I think he's great. He has a lot of tactical knowledge, and in practice we play really good. I think we learn from our mistakes and always come up with new stuff every day. So we keep evolving as a team. Well, we're still figuring out how to play, how to anti-spread teams because we are a new team. But yeah, we will definitely anti-spread as much as we can against them.
And Balcony may be the final resting place of this round. Borup is still continuing to twist the knife in the back.
I'm really looking forward to try to compete some of the best in the world right now to see where we're at.
Another individual brilliant performance is going to yield a round for Heroic.
And we are back. You like how I just slid right into the frame? That's pretty cool, huh,
Smooth.
Christine?
You're so smooth, Chase.
That's not true. I do go by the term sly or something like that every now and then. Now, let's begin to talk about the second team in contention here, right? We're talking about Heroic, but G2, the story that is old as time, the team that could, that should, and oftenly does. However, they do have a hiccup or two. They do run into a road bump every now and then. Of course, for Kenny S's birthday, that's what he got. Close but no cigar. He actually took an L yesterday, and that could not have felt good. That could not have been how G2 wanted to start the Masters.
Oftenly, I want that word to be a thing now. But yeah, they do oftenly struggle quite a bit, right? Close but no cigar indeed. I don't agree with Tessus when he said that G2 are the peak right now. They're definitely not. They were on an upward trajectory. Something has gone wrong here. I feel like they get into their heads a little bit too much. Then sometimes, they have a style where they aggress quite a bit, and then it kind of spirals out of control. Aggression is great, but it needs to be tempered, it needs to be controlled, and you need to have the right read. Now, on the side of Heroic, they have the edge here, Potter. I mean, they have more information of G2 rather than what G2 have of Heroic. It's a new lineup. They haven't played too much. And yeah, like you can see at the bottom, choking hazard definitely might be a problem here. They might just choke on Heroic. Swing,
Yeah.
yes.
I think Tessus was low-key throwing a jab towards G2's way, because I have to agree as well. I don't think that they're at their peak either. I don't think any of these G2 members themselves think that they're at their peak. So maybe Tessus was saying, yeah, you guys are playing the best that you can absolutely play. This is as good as it's going to get. I don't know. But yeah, G2, they haven't really quite lived up to their expectations. But when you're watching them with the eye test, it is kind of hard to tell because they're hitting their shots. Kenny S is looking great. Jax is looking good. Nexa, he's a high fragging in-game leader. He always looks good in that server. And Nico's cousin is always popping off. So it's hard to really pinpoint what the issues are on the G2 side of things, because as far as the eye test goes, they all look like superstars. They all look like they're hitting their shots. So they should be getting more W's.
Should be, but the real question is, why aren't they? Or better yet, they have a better explanation for us. Let's hear from the G2 camp.
Yeah, going up against Heroic is gonna be a tough game because indeed we don't have any data about them. Also, knowing how we played recently is not putting every chances on our side. But yeah, if we start being individually confident, I don't think there will be any issue. As individual skills and talent, we definitely have one of the best teams in the world. So when we start shooting good, like there is not a lot of things that can stop us. But yeah, we need to be more synchronized and play better as a team than we've shown the last few weeks. Definitely.
Going to be able to drop the Phoenix, and suddenly all of the audience is already being tagged up. That Molotov is not going to be burning anyone. He threw it into the heaven of heaven.
Poor guy. I've never seen that.
Without playing them, I know already that they will be an annoying team to play against. They have really smart players. They have also like really skilled players. So this game will be a tough one.
And yes, definitely skilled players. That's something they're going to be saying every single time they talk about this G2 lineup. But for us, skill, yes, that's nice. And yes, it does help to win the game. However, you have to use it. You have to display it from time to time. And ultimately for G2, it seems like it can be a little bit elusive. However, they get a shot at it again today. Their run in the Masters is not over by any stretch of imagination. In fact, we are just about ready to get this party started with Heroic and G2 going toe-to-toe. But that kind of leaves a little bit of a void here. Blett, I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about. What am I thinking of right now in this moment?
I don't know what you think. I don't want to know
Matt
what you think
Vetoes.
of.
Christine. Hell yeah.
All right.
I see you, girl. What's up? Okay, map vetoes. Now, this is where we should begin to talk. Now, I know that, Blay, you kind of put it all out there on a silver platter for everyone before, but I think now would be the more appropriate time.
Yeah, overpass. Shoo, that's interesting. I like how G2 didn't go for the overpass ban out there. They went for the train ban. That's smart. They knew train was going to get picked in by Heroic, and they looked so good on it. So G2 going for the train ban early on. Now for the side of Heroic, they really haven't played any overpass so far. So they don't want to take that risk as well. So that allows, they're actually going to ban it out second. This is interesting that the Vertigo pick from G2, they've looked sloppy, man. They've looked very weird so far on that map. It's not just against North, even earlier when they played against, I think it was Godsend, where they lost to Godsend and Vertigo. They have looked very sloppy, and that I'm surprised they went for it. The Nuke pick from Heroic, understandable. I think it's very 50-50. They banned Inferno because G2 looked so good at Inferno yesterday, right? The Dust 2 ban from G2 finally coming in, and I think that's the right call. Heroic, I feel right now they are unbeaten on Dust 2, even though it's a new lineup. They have the right protocols, and considering how G2 just, I don't know, they just seem to mentally combust when they play on that map. I like the fact that Bandit and Mirage is a decider. I think that's very 50-50. This could be a very close series overall.
And I'm not entirely sure, if mental combustion is worse than sonic combustion. But again, Cloud9 aren't playing today. So let's talk a little bit about this one, Christine. Let's look at it in your perspective. What are you thinking of the map, Veto?
I'm a little confused, perhaps. I mean, I think this overpass ban, I like the fact that both squads floated it. Yesterday, both squads vetoed it in their very first round. I do wish that Heroic wasn't the team to veto it. I wish they vetoed that Vertigo, just because there's such a new squad, new in-game leader, new coach. I know the old Heroic, they loved Vertigo. They practiced it a lot. I feel like challenging Vertigo versus a G2 on it this early on in their development stage, it's a risk. It's a huge risk.
I feel like it could work in their favor, because if you look at G2's Vertigo in the past couple of games they've played so far, they're having a lot of flaws, very evident flaws. And like Heroic said, they're going to be anti-stratting quite a bit. Maybe they've figured out a solution, because a couple of teams already have. They lost to North, they've lost to Godsend on it very recently, and I don't think they've had enough time to really completely fundamentally change their approach to that particular map, right? So I think Heroic are coming in super well prepared. And for G2, I agree with Kenny. It's about sticking to your guns, not crapping the bed, and just hitting heads.
Yeah, you got to be careful about that bed portion, because you don't want to do that where you sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's not really a good time for anyone, to include yourself. Speaking of good times, that's what we offer around here in spades almost. I almost dish out good times on a regular basis around here. So perhaps this is a time we get the Twitch chat involved right here, right now. We get those votes up there and shown appropriately. That's going to be hashtag G2 or hashtag Heroic to keep it real simple. This is your time to spam, but obviously we're going to go over these results at the conclusion of the break, which is kind of what I wanted to talk to you two about. We are going to a break. We come back, and then we jump into the game. The casters start talk, analysts stop talk, and we go from there. We take it piece by piece. G2 Heroic when we return right here at the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020.
Let me get you alone. I've got a little place in mind. Let me take you alone. There's gonna be a space and time. Let me get you alone. I've got a little place in mind. Let me take you alone. There's gonna be a space and time. We gotta turn big dreams into action. We gotta mix action with the passion. Time short, no time for relaxing. Be the first in, last out, make it happen. We gotta turn big dreams into action. We gotta mix action with the passion. Time short, no time for relaxing. Be the first in, last out, make it happen. Rise up, it's no time to lay low. Turn dreams into cream, get your pesos. Turn those pesos into bankroll, and in no time get the cheese like queso. I used to be the first guy to procrastinate. I used to waste mad time in my mind state. Was like, I ain't got time for the grind, but you never be great without work, let it marinate. I'm waking up and thank God for...
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey, Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
And first, before we even begin to get into predictions here, we have just a few minutes before we kick off this matchup. I just want to give an extreme special shout out to Lily. I'm sure you're going to be the next greatest Twitch copy pasta if you are not already. Kerrigan and that whole thing maybe has sailed, but obviously it's still a viable use as well. We're looking at Christine, we're looking at Bled, and we're looking for predictions, and I want to start with you, Bled.
Despite Heroic's, potential upset, upset potential, and G2 having had a rough time yesterday, I'm still going to go with the side of G2. They should have been coming on top of the groups here. Obviously, that loss yesterday is going to hurt them. And the birdie's done. Birdie boy should be now rearing to go. And I believe they should take the series, albeit I do believe it's going to be a 3-mapper.
So we've got Bled with G2. That leaves Christine with...
Heroic. I'm going with Heroic here. I think I think that G2, this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a really tough task for Heroic moving forward. The individuals on G2 are just so talented. But I think Heroic yesterday, they turned a new leaf. They're looking like a new squad. I'm excited to see exactly how far Bork can go. I'm going with Heroic all the way here.
Yeah, and I believe that we have a studio divided and digital studio divided, which is kind of true regardless. Anyway, I want to get into my prediction that is G2 Esports, because while I haven't lost my mind completely, but I think that it is just on the brink of happening here any day now. So if you start to see these predictions go sideways, that will be a cause for alarm. But until then, we do need to take a look at what all of you have created in Twitch chat with all the spam that you have been doing and constructing and showing us. And it looks like you feel that G2 is also going to find some rhythm here to their rhyme. Now, of course, do we agree with Twitch chat? Do we ever agree with Twitch chat? And when I say that, I'm talking about you two chit-chatting with Twitch chat.
Yeah, 100%. Twitch chat's like the smartest organism in the world. They're like a hive mind of intelligence. They can never be wrong. Yeah.
Now, Christine, let's look at this and really examine it for what it is. We say Twitch chat is an organism, but how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel alive.
Nice, which is what organisms are. Thank you so much, guys. I think perhaps it's almost time to get into the game. I don't have any indication otherwise, so I assume that we are almost ready, and we're going to bring in those casters. I want to go ahead and thank you, Bled and Potter. We'll be back with you shortly, but for the time being, I got to get my roommates involved. You know how the homies do it, so we got to bring them on board right here, right now. Harry and Hugo from Brighton Beach, New Jersey, congratulations on winning the casting whatever it is that you guys got to get here.
Challenge.
Yeah,
get your burn right before you throw to us, but it's okay. We'll pick it up from here. We'll keep things smooth sailing, but thanks for all your hard work.
Have a great evening, fellas.
Yeah, you too.
Wow, yeah, you've really sucked all the momentum out of his day.
I mean, I think I've peaked from that pickup. It only works because Trace messed it up, but you know, it's fine. We'll move forward. Yeah, this is a great game, Harry. We got G2, we got Heroic. We had an exciting yesterday with Heroic, you know, coming into this tournament with a new roster, showing us what they could do. Of course, falling to Astralis like most teams do, but a really competitive game, an overtime on Train, and a 30-rounder in the second map as well. So they showed Astralis that they were here to play. Can they take down G2 though? Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, I don't even know how to look at this one, right? Because that's the thing. Like Astralis, they come here with obviously the caveat of that they don't have the usual 5 men. They had Yugi playing, and you know you've lost Glaive. That's quite the man to have removed from the squad. So you know, like the Astralis Heroic game, I look at through a very different lens, man. Yeah, I think sure. G2. I think when it comes to going toe to toe with a team that's still trying to piece everything together, I don't know, man. I'm looking at G2 as the heavy favorites. I know the Desk were like really considering Heroic in this one. I like the Heroic boys. I think Tesses has looked great as of late, but I don't know, man. I'm imagining that G2 are going to be coming into this looking to show us they still got it.
Yeah, I do agree. I like the idea that G2 should be the favorites here. I'm excited for Vertigo, right? I don't know where things are going to go there. Are Heroic prepared? Are the anti-strategy G2? Are G2 going to show up on that map? Yesterday, they really didn't. They dropped the ball against North, so we don't want any more of that moving forward, but we are indeed into the action. It's G2 Esports taking on Heroic here for this best of 3 at DreamHack Masters Spring 2020 Europe. Quite a mouthful, and, well, we're straight into the game. It's Heroic already looking for a bit of an inner exec. They are set up inside of the lobby.
Oh, and look at this. Cadian getting out towards ramp, and he's very, very deep, and that there is Jax just flat out not ready for it. Man advantage taken here for the side of Heroic. Ramp control and hell control going their way. This is going to force G2 to group up and commit somewhere else on the map to try and get a bit of control for their trouble. And with the ability to have these players wrapping through heaven, they try and grab lobby. They do manage to put it in a 3-on-3 as a result. And so now they're set up pretty nicely to attempt this retake. Nexa opening the round up and actually doubling down on the back of it. It all falls onto Cadian at a 1v3. He's wrapping main, and Bomb is planted for here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's planted for heaven. That's that's not a good one. That's not what you wanted if you're Heroic. That's a bit of a shame. Cadian as well came from hell. That's one of the weirdest things about that.
That's definitely a bit of a mistake. Maybe he planned to go heaven, right? Maybe that was the initial game plan, but switching it up on the fly and trying to go main. Yeah, you know, when you have that main smoke down, Heroic put it in play, so you should be planting for that more often than not, unless you're setting up to play for the retail or to play for the heaven post plant rather. Bit of a weird one, but it's not the end of the world really for Heroic. G2 do get the defuse. Heroic taking a full eco in the second with just P250s. They're looking to buy up sooner rather than later, but G2, well, they're armed right now, and they're looking to put a stop to these Danes to try and get down to the secret. Nice spray from Kenny. Connects a random bullet to the head of Borup, and Heroic a man down, trying to enter the B bomb site. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty, but Tesses will at least provide us a kill here for Heroic. Double peek denied. Bomb dropped. Cadian alone. Going to come main again. Give it another go. This time, sorry, buddy, the bomb's not even planted, so no chance. You could definitely get some kills here, though. There's a lot of noise.
Oh, he's being very, very patient. There we go. There's one. But that's pretty much it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's not it. Maybe, no, there, it was it. It was done. Never mind. We'll write that one off. G2, they go ahead and grab that second round. They find the conversion. And well, now Heroic coming in with some money to spend. Going to be bringing out AKs all across the board. I'm a big fan of Amanek still with this auto shotgun. Really curious to see where that looks to end up here for G2. Next to remain, getting flashed off early, and this has forced like a pretty heavy early rotation into this A side. Players dropping down from heaven. There is still Kenny waiting around in heaven, but ramp right now is pretty much completely open. Jax has got aggressive into the B site and posted up there, and this is because, you know, they've dropped everyone out from heaven. There's been a few smokes dropped towards outside in the meantime, and they've lost vision on this side of the map. So Jax has posted up very early on down towards B. Heroic Sat now with the man advantage on the back of Amanek going aggressive in through the hub. He also pressured Ramprum just a little bit there with Kenny, and he's gone hopping away. He's left this side of the map entirely. So Heroic, they've got a lot of map control. Outside belongs to them with this player in secret. They have secret control. They're holding lobby with a man advantage. They keep on finding these frags as well. And yeah, this is a very, very tricky round now for G2. They don't have any map control. They're down a few men. Really, the ball is in Heroic's court at this point in time. And time is really the only thing that could ever be a factor. And even then, they've got plenty of it right now.
But where will they go with it? A site looking likely, with a kill coming from Kenny. It is trading quickly, and that will bait them further into the setup, into the stack. But even then, it's no problem for Heroic. They don't even need to trade past that first kill. Just quick entries and a clean second or first round taken, rather, in number 3. That's going to break the money of G2 very early in this game as well, right? Like, Kenny has a bit of cash for a Hero M4 if they want to force. That might be likely here. If not, he can save for the AWP later. But yeah, I think this is a better buy. 2 guns in this round with a bunch of pistols around it. G2 gonna put their money where their mouth is. Heroic, though, already getting on the board with a nice slow A take. You know that these guys are going to be good on Nuke, even though, at least for the map pool of Heroic, right, like most of the maps they haven't really played. This is a new roster. Nuke's been one of the go-tos. It's their most played right now. But with Vertigo, with Mirage, the 2nd and 3rd of this series, we've got 1 and 0 maps logged respectively there. So not a lot to expect here from Heroic, other than maybe some surprises. And right now, they're doing a good justice here on the T side of Nuke. Just need to get past the force bought G2 side. No kit in this round. Amanek still hanging around above, but he doesn't realize Borup's crept up so close. The shot is quick from Borup. No time for Amanek to spray him down. And now Heroic a man up on one of the 2 rifles that G2 removed. This is going to be a very hard-fought battle for the French.
Oh, Jack. Trigger discipline, tries to wait for the double, but he does get double peaked in response. And, well, 1 by 1, this round's been torn apart. And with Borup still up in heaven, oh, I thought he had a bit more of a chance to get some shots off there. Does actually get dealt with almost immediately. Bomb now getting planted, but a 2-on-3 for G2. They're pretty happy with how this has kind of come down to the wire. They're still going to look to give it a go. Tessa's making first point of contact, and he might come to regret that decision. Kenny has found him on the first peak, and now he's got Nexa in main alongside him. They've seen where bomb's planted for, so they kind of have like a rough idea of where this crossfire could be set up, but it's Stown versus Kenny. Both players on 2, and they're going to need to cement it with the hat trick if they want to win this round out. And Stown has played it beautifully. He's just wasted the clock down. He's given Kenny no room to maneuver. And so it is going to be Heroic fighting this second round.
Yeah, excellent work from Stown. Gives Kenny enough audio noise and distraction to make Kenny think that he can't get on the bomb without being peaked, while also not peeking Kenny and not risking up his life in the clutch at all. Stown is a very good player, and exciting to see him on this Heroic roster. I always enjoy watching him. It's going to be an eco from G2, right? That save gun for Kenny is all they can muster in this round. Heroic, they know they're not up against a lot. They can afford to play fast in this one, and that will be the game plan. Jax with the deagle. Nice shot. Does get a chance to drop off the back of it as well. So G2 putting up a kill. If this rifle finds a 5-on-3, that's massive, but it's Heroic with the immediate refrag. Nexa grabs the gun, but they've already seen it disappear from the floor in front of them. A trade is not going to be difficult for Heroic, who take full control of Hell and Yard. Fighting back from heaven are the P2Ks, but these are not the guns for the job. Amanek may find 1, but good luck doubling that down from such a range. Nice damage, puts Cadian on 9, but Cadian's down. They will clear up the round, leaving just Hunter in lobby. Not for long. It's Heroic finding 3. They take control back of this game, and finally G2 can reinvest now after a couple of dry rounds with low investments. Warp on Kenny, worth noting. Got that out nice and early on. We do have a Warp on the T side to fight back against him, but Cadian's looking for Nexa in main, and Nexa's not going to give away this pick. Pretty standard door peek. It will be a player on the site trying to provide a bit of distraction, while Nexa just tucks and watches for the main drop. again, like, you know, G2 probably don't know what to expect from Heroic. What is their default? This team is, you know, or hasn't played that many maps, so there's going to be a lot to learn here for G2. Heroic are on the B site very quickly from event drops. Jax is here, and he's dropped the bomb. Cadian will trade. That provides time for Heroic to get this plant in. But in that time, Amanek is already rotated down. He's creating a real problem here on the B bomb site. Cadian gets a second, but at this point, do they even want to commit towards B? G2 know exactly where that bomb is. Nexus got a frag. Borup comes in late on lobby and kills the ramp player, and up the vents they can go, but that's exactly where Nexus is. Heroic need to be careful in this 2-on-1, despite the low health.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait this one out, bud. And yeah, the fire stops burning, and maybe it will for G2 in this round as a whole. I don't think Nex is going for this, man. Yeah, he's already kind of bowed out. He's walking over here towards Hell. He's looking for these ramp players. Maybe if they give him a fight, maybe if they give him a duel, then we see him get interested. But a lot of it is hinging on whether or not he can deal with Borup. And I don't know, man. I'm not feeling too good about that one. Who's walking around the corner? Borup holding deep within the ramp. And he will put that 4th round on the board for Heroic.
Heroic is seeming very confident just to take, you know, straight up aim duels, you know, against G2, which is really good considering some of the players that we have on this G2 side, right? Like, that is a team that many will fear facing individually, but Heroic don't look like they have that fear, at least right now. So that certainly bodes well on the T side of Nuke, where you're going to need a lot of audacious plays to get yourself on this board. Right now, Heroic going for the smokes outside. Not full crossing, but the MAC 10 has gone and beaten everyone to the punch. Nico's already down B. Late outside are the rest of Heroic. That bomb has been spotted on the back of Cadian with the AWP, so G2 know what to expect. And now they know Nico's here, but yeah, that's a classic. So many players do that. They throw the Molotov, they don't wait for it to bloom, and a player plays in front of it for the one and done, right? Jax pushes the molly, he gets the 1 deagle, and he is looking very, very warmed up today. Jax has hit some banging shots with that deagle. So, netting a kill for G2, it means Heroic can't continue down lower. They need to look elsewhere, and Tessus has parred away into this A-bomb site. He's coming up on Heaven. G2 have no information. Closest player is Nexa down lower, and he's about to realize this as he comes in from Hell.
It's just a standoff right now with Tessa's up in this position. And that's the thing. If he's able to get into Heaven, if he's able to lock this down, this is such a strong position for Heroic to have. And we'll see them, you know, showing a bit of attention down through Secret, but I think that is just Cadian checking it. It does feel like the plan here is to see what these Heaven players can accomplish. And with Nexa keeping an eye on it, he's not watching actually for the wraparound up on the top Heaven. He's just holding Hell. And so him going up the ladder, it's pretty crazy, but it's actually kind of worked out here for the side of G2. There's no time. Oh, dearie me, Heroic. They've kind of outbrained themselves on this.
Yeah, I was wondering, they definitely left that too long. Like, you know, Tessus is in Heaven, but what he's doing is waiting for Borup to bring the bomb. Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, grouping up and trying to do that together, but G2, at that point, they're working it out. They're silent for so long. They see Heroic still have lobby. They know it's not a B play as a result, and they're just ready for the Heaven wrap. Nexa lets them take control, and then comes in on a flank up the ladder and drops the bomb. That's a great round for Nexa, and that's one that Heroic, yeah, they just went faster. They just took that top side. They would have won it. So 4-3. Oh, good damage done. That spray is converted into a kill. Hunter finds Borup, and Nexus down on B already, dropping the bomb. Heroic have been hurt in this round, a 5-on-3, and with more damage done. Cadian's on just 2 points of health, and that bomb's still out in the open in the B bomb site. There's a triple rotation for G2, trying to completely control this package.
Oh, Tessa's nice opener in this round. And maybe that's enough to have given Heroic a chance here. It was a 3-on-5, but now 3-on-4. Tessa's with some control down towards B and still just keeping players here, preventing any kind of rotation. This bomb is down, and that is going to be a problem for Heroic. Wonder where this is. Can Cadian look to grab it?
It's out in B next to the silo, so it's really not in a
it's not in a
position.
friendly place. Okay.
Next, I got the kill from the window.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter that Heroic have top right now.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty tricky spot to be in. And Testes is just going to walk to his demise. I think at this point, Heroic kind of realized it. Like, yeah, getting this bomb, not going to be easy. However, that maybe helps. Cadian. Oh, okay. Now down to the 1v1. And Kenny with the AWP in hand. Cadian, 2 points of health. Kenny only needs to land 1 bullet. But that would be true with the pistol or with the AWP. He's elected. Or the former. Missed shot from Kenny. Tagged down. That's the nade. Done it.
Nice.
Oh, dear. Cadian locks it in with 3. And Heroic, they'll find that 5th round. I don't know, G2. I don't know about that one. That didn't feel like it went the way it should.
I have no idea.
Stellar stuff from Cadian to like be ready for all of this. But I can't believe they were given like so many individual fights from G2.
The Ven rotation is certainly a peculiar one when Heroic just saw Amanek on that top site. So yeah, that one I'm not a fan of. Everything else is just great work, right? Like it's Nexa. He'd been holding the stairs a secret for so long. Finally, he gets Testes come his way. Testes doesn't have a teammate. He dies. Heroic send 2 more players at it. They trade a kill. Cadian kills Nexa, and what a great sequence against Kenny as well. Baits the door, goes window, gives enough time for Kenny to think that he's above. Kenny looks away, Cadian nades him, and then knows that Kenny, because he's tagged up, has to move away from the nade or he's going to die. So he just walks into Cadian's waiting arms. That's just such a well-played clutch from Cadian, who's on 2 health the entire time, remember, from the start of the round. So from getting down that vent, the spray on Hunter did it. So great work from Cadian, leading by example and putting Heroic 5-3 up here on the T side. It's going to be G2 on a bit of a low buy. CZ's in the armor. Not where they want to be, considering some of these rounds have been so close. In fact, so favored to G2. But it's gone both ways. I mean, G2 won that top site mad round just 2 ago with Nexa coming in on that heaven flank. So, you know, both of these teams can win those ridiculous rounds. And I think that's what makes this series so exciting for Group A.
This is a great chance for Heroic to continue to build upon this lead, right? They've broken down the money at G2. They're looking like they want to go for this top site push. Now, they've been very, very patient here at waiting in lobby. They've been hoping that they can catch G2, you know, maybe trying to lobby crunch, maybe trying to get aggressive. You wait out any utility they might have, and they've got nothing, man. They've really got nothing. So these mollies go down. That's going to force Kenny into the Lion's Den. And now Amanek, he's going to have an attempt as well. He's actually trapped here in the corner, so he doesn't fare all too well, but Nexus certainly does. And now Jax, 1v2, they don't know he's here. They don't know he's at the back of the site. And oh dear! Oh no, now down to the 1v1. Borup, no! Borup is deleted, and Jax, the hero G2 needed, the D king of this squad, 4th on the board. And somehow, some way, he goes unaccounted for in the back of the site.
Yeah, the full stack. We were just saying both teams could win these ridiculous ecos, and Jax, who has 6 kills, I would be inclined to believe 4 out of 6 of them at a bare minimum are Deagle kills. I've at least seen 4 Deagle kills from Jax, and I don't know how he makes it work, but he does. G2, they'll take that round, although that is not one that should be going their way. It's always great when you have a stack like that. If you're G2, you have like 3-4 players on the site. Heroic kill them all, but they don't kill the last player. And that last player hasn't fired a shot. That last player is hidden the entire round. And so Heroic go, well, we've killed 4A. He's not re-peeking us. He should be trading his team. He's not, so he's not A. And they just completely let their guard down, looking at rotation points, looking at Heaven, looking at Main, looking at Ven. And Jax just pops out from behind them, lines up a shot. You can see Bob trying to escape, looking down at the ground to make his head hitbox go away. Not Cadian, Jax rather, will not let it go away. Take it away. And so will Kenny. Now fired up with the AWP after an eco win. G2 are back in control of the economy. Heroic don't have a dollar to their name and already don't have 5 players up. Kenny, he is not done with one. I would not want to go in the yard of Nuke when Kenny has the AWP, but Heroic, they are just feeding the beast. 2 kills. And they're going to fall away from outside. Probably a wise decision. Look elsewhere with these pistols. Oh, Jax, that's not a deagle in your hands.
Oh, and maybe it's something far more sinister. No, actually, he just dies immediately. Kenny here gonna try and pick up the slack. Oh, and he does. 4 kills for Kenny in this round. And a 5th for G2 up on the board. They're keeping this one neck and neck. They're keeping us nice and close here. G2 may be out for some revenge after Astralis not being too kind to them in that grand final for the road to Rio. Heroic, not quite Astralis, but
I took him the distance.
Yeah.
Not the full distance, some of the distance. But that game is right now distant from where we are. Jax, stop, leave him alone, give him a chance. These guys, these poor Danes, you're just dirtying them up, shooting through smokes. Jax is not done, he's got his second. Stown falls as well, and Jax, he'll fall, but not to death, just to the B bomb site where he can look to stop the plant. G2 have control, they have the rotations. Look at the minimap, we've got a Heaven and a Hell player. Almost overkill at this point. G2 have the rotations needed, and Heroic, I mean, they can't even go back. They don't own the lobby right now. They're watching it passively. Borup taking a peek. Jax is still lurking down at B, but he's got enough info as to calm whether Heroic are attempting this lower play. Take a shot, fall off safely here from this position.
Well, Jax has been on a tear in this round here and now, and who knew? He might just continue it. 3 to his name. However, that's him out of the game, and it does fall on to Nico now. 1 on 3, and he has caught a man down at the ramp. That'll be Mr. Kenny S getting bested there in the head-to-head. So now Nico, a very good chance that he might be able to find something in this round. However, Hunter and Amanek still standing on the other side, trying to do everything in their power to stop exactly that. Nico,
TikTok.
Only 7 seconds left on this clock, and he goes into the site, tries to get that bomb planted, and sadly it will be tied. It is the undoing of Heroic there in that round. Hunter just able to hold down that angle, be ever so patient, knows the kill has to come to him eventually, and indeed it will.
Back in action, and Heroic with more pistols to play with. G2 have certainly won more ecos than Heroic this time, but they're going to give it another go with a fast A attempt. The flashes are actually really good. Fully blinded are G2, but they only have to look a little doorway, a little choke point, and hold that mouse 1 button. That's exactly what goes on. Cadian tries to drop vent, misses the vent, doesn't have the bomb either. So even if he got down, it would be of small value to Heroic, just trying to play with his food, but his food bites back. G2, 7-5. Good CT side so far on Nuke. This is Heroic's map pick in this series. We do have Vertigo coming up. Bit of a question mark in this one. Which G2 do we have today? Will they have an answer on Vertigo? Have Heroic anti-stratted them? A lot of questions on our mind moving forward, but even in this map right now, things are competitive. Alt back out for Kenny, none for Cadian. And fast flashes into the A side, but not the commitment.
Oh, Nexa, here's them dropping. Hunter is the guy who could really make a lot of difference in this round, and now he's going to have to. He's caught a timing in through red, and he isolates that one fight into secret while it's available. But is there going to be anything else? Because now it falls to just him and Kenny. Bomb planted here for the side of Heroic. Going to start to get themselves set up in these post plants, and this double lobby play is something that's very frustrating to deal with if you're G2. Heroic, okay, that's actually fantastic. Yeah. They molly Nico out. He was playing at the vents. That's going to force the gunfight out of him, perhaps. And well, with that kill coming in onto Hunter, now maybe it will just be the save for G2. So we started to get a bit excited there, Hugo. It looked like something was going to happen with the molly coming in, forcing Nico down into the vent. Maybe there was like a bit of a timing where Kenny could have got something done. But with Hunter falling and a smoke in main, Kenny decides the best thing he can do is hold on to this all.
Yeah, and he's not wrong either, right? You definitely want that gun in play to stop some of these outside plays from the likes of Heroic. I like that one, right? They throw 3 players in lobby, or 2 players in lobby, they put the door nade in, they put the main smoke, and just a good bit of utility outdoor to keep the A players attracted. Then, Heroic, very fast up silo, they drop in front of main together, side by side. One of the big issues about that drop is you'll do it, and you'll try and trade, and you'll cycle drop players, but because the CT has a shadow advantage, they often just get both. It's like Pop Dog at times, but even better for a CT. And in this case, Heroic, they drop side by side. A bare minimum, the CT can kill 1. He doesn't in this case. Heroic mow him down, and they just run in through main alongside those lobby players that threw the door nade. So a quick A split. And all the while Heroic are going silo, they're cycling flashes through T-Roof, through the sky hole. So yeah, nice round for Heroic. They catch G2 on a quick A play, and that's a nice way of doing it. G2, though, still have money. They still have a buy, and 2 rounds left of the half to really make this one count. Who will be taking the lead?
I kind of hope you see a bit more from Heroic at this upper site. I don't know, man. They've just been finding so much success here, but in this round, Hunter, he tries to change that. He hasn't done this before. He gets aggressive in through Secret. There are players that were meant to trade that, and they're not in position in time. That's a bit of a disaster there. Hunter is allowed to just run in, strip a man away, and get the hell out. And that's not ideal, especially not when Cadian and Borup were both in position in the lobby, meant to be able to trade that kill if that did happen. Tess says here, though, he's decided, all right, we've got a man down. Someone's going to make a big boy play. Why can't it be me? And maybe my man Nico, as they get down through Secret. They've done this all very, very quietly. And Nexa, who is outside, who is in garage, he doesn't have the information that they're down in this position just yet.
Yeah, look at Jax as well. He's sitting outside far away, and he's checking, and he's calling, okay, there could be a timing, there could be a way down, but I've seen nothing.
Something that's a little bit scary is this bomb is headed back towards outside on the back of Cadian.
Ooh.
And I'm getting worried, like, what if he tries to, because the others just got to walk right down, right?
They could fake a B play, and they have a lobby player, so they could still hit this A site if someone gives them a kill. Jax is going to do that. Heroic, they can run out. Hey, this is a perfect round. There's 1 man on top of the hut left, and that is Hunter, the man that started this round with a kill. He's waiting. Amanek's come in as well. The spray is good. Nexa, Hunter, Amanek, all here. Right place, right time, and G2 mow down Heroic. Wow, despite throwing in a lot of noise and a lot of util towards that B site, no one rotates, no one moves, and it certainly doesn't help that Jax pushes lobby and dies and gives that info. Like, while he dies, if anything, that confirms to G2 that it's an A play, because they see the Heroic still have lobby, and, well, just no one moves, and they wait, and then they win. Simple as that. 8 rounds. G2 have taken the half in their favor. This is just about making it pretty.
Oh, Stown is able to get down the vents. And he's going to try and use this to the advantage of Heroic.
Wow.
However, Jax is 1 step ahead and is already posted up to deal with him. Testas and the rest of the boys over here towards outside going to go to drop a smoke into Mini. Might look to try and cross into Hell, perhaps. This is something that they've been pretty keen on taking. Might attempt to be another one of these Heaven plays. G2, look at this. They've pretty much completely given up outside, and instead they've aggressed at lobby and at ramp, and they push through ramp with players. So they've got info that this side of the map is clear. They've got Jax down in B. He's pushing Secret. He's about to come up behind Heroic. He literally could destroy this whole round right now. D2, they've got a very good read on this situation. Jax does go down, though. Cadian was keeping an eye on Secret. And so G2, while they had an idea what's going on, they've got to start looking at main. They get in position to do exactly that. It's Hunter and Nexa down here in the site, and they've spotted players here. They know what's going on. Hunter dies on the wide peak, but Nexa playing the bait and switch. We saw the bait, and here's the switch. Nexa looking for a second, not able to find it. That's what Amanek was meant to trade, but somehow this has come down to a 1v1. Kenny versus Cadian.
smoke down as well. Oh, he's going to peek before it blooms. Kenny had a sight. He had a bit of a visual on Cadian, takes some shots through the smoke, but won't connect. And now, well, the silence has been lifted. The shots have been fired. Cadian's looking to win the round off of a forced fight. He's going to go wide. Kenny spotted off a jiggle. Cadian sees him on the jump. He knows Kenny is above as well. And Kenny going to make the jump on top of the silo. Cadian saves it, and he will pick up the kill for Heroic. 7 at the end of the half. Somehow, some way, despite the bait and switch, Heroic do convert that round. We're going for a break. We're going to be back with the second half. Do join us for the rest of Nuke in just a moment.
Sick and tired of the whole damn thing, yeah. Stick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. No, no, no. Be lucky if I stick around. Maybe foolish, but I ain't a clown. No, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down. You're never gonna keep me down. Got the belt like a king, heavyweight champion of the whole damn thing, yo. Full of gas, full of spin, Jekyll and Hyde, you're the evil twin. You're never gonna keep me down, you're never gonna keep me down, no, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down, you're never gonna keep me down. No, you're never gonna. You're never gonna keep me down, you're never gonna keep me down, no, no, no. You're never gonna keep me down.
Welcome back to G2 Esports taking on Heroic. We've got the second half of Nuke just loaded in the chamber. We're about to pull the trigger with it. T-side for G2. They had the lead at the end of the first half, and they're looking to take us over the lines. Down, ecoing this pistol. Wonder if that's on purpose. I imagine so. Saving a bit of money for a rainy day, perhaps. Right now, G2 are crawling outside, close to main, about to burst. The smoke is down, and they're going to fight towards hell with this flash from Amanek.
Yeah, like a swarm of ants. They're going to spread out across outside and start to close the gap onto Borup. He's getting a little bit worried now. This is why Testes is going to come in to try and hold on to the bottom of hell. But Testes' attention is very, very divided. Luckily enough, Borup is doing a pretty good job holding this one solo. And, well, all of his team have actually found success across the map. Kenny and Amanek are the only 2 players remaining. And while Kenny is going to deal with one, it's still quite the advantage for Heroic at this point in time. They've dealt nicely with this attempted split through Hell and Heaven. And so for Kenny and Amanek, it's a last-ditch attempt down towards the B bomb site. But a bomb plant looks like a certainty and a bare minimum.
Yeah, retake situation with no kit for Heroic. Not a problem yet, but that can very quickly change, right? 1 or 2 well-placed shots from G2 can put Heroic in a very problematic position. But wait, They're not going for a bomb plant. Kenny has the bomb. He's playing secret. He's playing for a fight here. I think he's just realized he's going to run away, and he almost had an engagement there. This is a weird one because it's just given more time for Heroic to set up. They had 4A. Now they have 3B, but Amanek has taken the first one out. Borup re-peeking, getting the trade, and just like that, it's a cleanup for Heroic. They kill both players in the site, and they get the retake. You got to wonder, if G2 took the plant when they had the site, how would that round have been? They could have, fallen back into post plants, taken better positions, run a crossfire, but instead they just get killed while planting the bomb. 8 rounds for Heroic. That is going to give them the chance to come back. I say come back like they're not already equal in this game, but take the lead perhaps over G2 moving forward.
Yeah, lots of outside control in this round from G2. And while there's quite the response waiting for them on the other side, 2 players here for the Heroic side of things, and also Cadian here with this scout. So actually it's this 3-pronged hold outside, and if you're G2 and you decide to try and commit to this, if you try and get a little cute by going for an A main wrap, then you are going to be walking into what was this triple stack here. Now, to be fair, they have dealt very, very nicely with Cadian. However, that's kind of where the rest of the team are inbound to pick up the pieces, I was going to say, but maybe not. It's down to a 2v3 once again. G2, they've gotten this one a little bit closer. However, all this chip damage being dealt towards the end of the round, that'll be enough to solidify it here for Heroic.
Hopefully, Cadian's learned the lesson of not to buy Kevlar with no helmet against, the cousin of Nico. Not a good idea. Look at that. Boom. One shot. Face. Delete. No helmet. Not going to be a fan of that is Cadian, but he will be okay with the round, and that's what Heroic get gifted at least. They get rid of the pistols eventually. Comes at a bit of a cost, but luckily Heroic, they've got the funds. And right now, Borup, he's looking to make them with a shotgun. $900 a kill. That's certainly a bit of a bonus. That's the game plan here for G2 in this first crucial rifle round on the T side. They've got everything as well. That hard eco in the second just to afford all the utility. Of course, the bomb plant and the pistol as well. Late smokes outside. G2 not throwing the standard red cross smokes. They want to fight towards garage, though. Secret Molotov will keep this player back. Tessus can't fight right now. And he wants to as well. He'd love to get flashed out from a garage player, but he can spam the smoke. He's got revenge. He's taking down Hunter. That's a nice way of avenging yourself, but actually Stounds will want to finish the kill. Either way, team effort from Heroic and a man advantage in this round. Still G2 focusing on outside. Nico has been caught by Jax. He was in the garage, but not for long. G2, they've got this kill. They can leave a player here. They can back up. Remember, Tessus is still in secret, and at any point that molly is faded. He can peek. He can go for info. He's actually dropped a smoke there of some sort, so trying to one-way some info outside. At bare minimum, he's going to know that it's clear, but Amanek is still hiding behind T-Red, or main, rather. T-main. Next, dropping off a little bit. G2 going to make noise going in towards the ramp room. 18 seconds they need to plant.
Yeah, and they don't really have time to dance around it either, right? You got to get this bomb plant or else the round is over. So this here now means that Stown and co, they really could lay this round to rest. And with that one kill, it's done, no matter how hard G2
Oh, it's
tries.
+5. Oh, almost died there.
But G2 leaving that round down to the timer once again. And you're bang on, Hugo. Borup got a little risky at the end. Little risky, but it's all right. You know, they'd already won the round then. 10 rounds on the board now for Heroic.
Yeah, it is like very much like G2 forgot about the clock that round. Just kind of desperately running towards ramp into B. They left a lurk outside, but really there wasn't time for Amanek to do anything outside because bomb didn't get planted. G2 just denied immediately. And I like how Heroic, you know, a lot of the game in Nuke and these vertical maps is about misinformation as a T and trying to get your opponents to over rotate. And Heroic don't want to, you know, drop 3B the second they lose secret because G2 could just walk back up vent or go outside again. So Heroic in that 20-second bomb plant rush that G2 went for, Heroic didn't fall for it. They didn't think, oh, G2 were trying to fake us. They just knew what was going on. They triple rotated to the doors. They had 3 in secret, and they just shut out any chance of G2 winning that round. So good rotation for Heroic, not playing any funny games. Oh, the flash outside Nico. He doesn't see, he doesn't know, but he's got an idea. And Amanek, well, he's got nothing. Out of this round, deleted. So is Nico by Nexa, who's also having a strong performance in the server. He was waiting in the yard. Tessus takes a shot from Kenny, and there is still a player pushed below Silo. That's down. That's information that G2 don't have, and with the drop-off back for Hunter, that's something that's going to get heard. Stow can comp to Cadian to move away from this position and go help his teammates elsewhere. Right now, they don't know, though. With smoke standing outside, that should keep these players in position, but that only benefits Stown, who's watching for this cross.
Oh, when he's let the first man go by. Down, trying to play the trigger discipline here. Now he's got to hope that all of this wasn't in vain, because he has let Hunter slip down through secret.
Oh, I love this.
And he's going to use this timing now to go aggressive. And I do love this, Hugo. As far as G2 are aware, this isn't a possibility. Hunter is all the way down, through outside, through secret. Nex has been holding lobby this entire time. And so Stown could just blindside him and win the entire round. But Nexa with a quick flick. Oh my goodness. Borup's auto shotgun doesn't find anything. And, well, talk about an anticlimactic ending to a round. Maybe not. Maybe Cadian can deliver us something stellar. Come on, Cadian, let's go. Ah, never mind. It's all on to Tesses in a 1v2.
And he's not really got the health nor the kit for it. Bomb been planted, and Hunter looking for the fight. He's already crossed, and he's got his eyes on main. Tesses nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Smoke in his face, and Hunter's playing it. He doesn't want Tesses to sneak through, to cheek his way into the round. And so Tesses will just have to turn the other one and save. That is a great example of how volatile Counter-Strike is. You can play everything right. You can fully set up. You can coordinate with your team. You can do everything to the best of your ability, and you can still lose the round. To be fair, Stown did completely whiff that shot. He cleared out lobby, right? And from that info, he goes in his head. He's like, yeah, G2 are radio. They're all ramp. He's told Tessus to back off who was low. Tessus is playing passive. Not anymore. This is a danger. Nice kills from Tessus, though. And yeah, Tessus falls out of ramp, and then Stown comes in on his flank, and G2 bail. They decide not to go ramp because of the smoke so late, and so they walk back to lobby, and Stown didn't expect them so deep in the lobby. That's so unfortunate, but great shot by Nexa, right? Like, you know, Stown should have had that kill. Nexa is the one that takes it away, that removes the possibility. He's 23 and 14. He has been very fast right now. 8 multi-kill rounds for Nexa. And he's trying to take G2 over the line. This may have been a hard-fought battle, but their first T-side round put on the board. Feels kind of crazy to say that, but this has been a very good CT side from Heroic. A lot of, you know, close rounds that looked like they were going G2's, you know, stolen away at the last second. Talking about those bomb plants on B, for example, or lack of. Heroic, their money is on edge, and they're going to decide to force up against G2's pretty skewish buy as well. Galil double SMG. And so don't count Heroic out of winning this force buy round. We've had plenty of eco wins in this map alone.
Oh, Cadian and his scout. Not a man to be trifled with when he's donning the baby AWP. Nade finding some good damage, only makes the scout more effective. The reason why the nade has worked out so well, though, is that G2, they've got everyone down through secret, and into the pistols they go. Eagle has found one. Stown holding down the vents, and he is going to get traded, but a nice shot onto Hunter. And oh dear, how is this happening? How is this happening? The CZs are wrecking.
Yeah.
G2. This is not how they envisioned this round going down. Nexa has made some progress towards outside, and he's waiting to deal with Cadian. Cadian never knew. That's a great example of Nexa, you know, just getting the info, having a read as to what's going on, because he's been given that much more information to work with, and just waiting. And now he's put it into a 2-on-2. Tessus is holding B alone. in all fairness, Jax is still here with the bomb. That kind of scares me a bit. But I think they're just waiting, right? Just seeing if Nexa can catch players in rotation, seeing what information Jax can get down on B. They've still got time, but we've seen time be a problem for G2 before. I don't want to say we haven't, because that would be lying. 30 seconds.
Not here, though. G2 can't mess up this round to time. 25. They're going for A. He's going to come up the vent. It's all down to Borup, the low HP player with only a pistol. He's got a kill already. He's playing the site. He's playing hidden, trying to swing off the audio. They don't check it. Borup drops the bomb. 10 seconds. Oh, he's messing around with smokes. That will get him killed. The CC takes so long to draw, and Nexa is already inside of the site. He now has a smoke to plant in, and that's perfection. Tessus is coming in on the ramp flank. He can climb heaven, but Nexa has the room to move inside of the site. He has the smoke at his feet, and he's moved back towards the door as well. Nexa shuts it out. Of course he does. 3 kills from the in-game leader, and G2 will find 10 rounds. That eco, oh, it's close. It may be close, but it's not a round win for Heroic. Very nice try, that being said.
It's such a shame, because you could tell at first Borup's mindset there was to try and like make a play. He thought that both players were pushing him, because I think otherwise he would have waited even more time just for that plant to be like drawn out, right? Like waste even more time off the clock. You can see though, he swung immediately to the right after taking that kill. And I think, you know, if he knew that the other player was a little ways away, we might have seen him, you know, just slow that down, draw out the max amount of time on that bomb plant, all like 3.5 of those glorious seconds. And that really could have made all the difference, because as the bomb got planted, Nexa had 5 seconds in that round. If you'd waited, you know, 3 seconds to deny the bomb plant, they wouldn't have had it. So it's a shame how close that one comes and how Heroic just aren't able to get it over the line. Now they're only down, how Heroic aren't able to get it over the line. Now they're down to pistols, Hugo.
Yeah, and G2 playing it painstakingly slow. Think about how fast they rushed into Secret and the problems that arose in that last round, right? Obviously, it was more for Heroic in terms of investment, but CT Armor, and they got a lot of kills down lower B, so G2 don't want to make the same mistake. They're playing it a lot more methodical and safer. Clearing the outside, clearing the lower site. Heroic quad stack on B. G2 are moving through. Oh dear, they're going to walk right into this. They're going to commit into the stack. Now, it still shouldn't be too much of a problem unless Heroic play things very, very well. G2 having a look, seeing nothing, and darting up the vent. I love it. Just no interest, nothing to do with it. Hunter's already cleared this from minions, so Kenny, he can hang around on B and do damage. He gets one and escapes. Low HP, not wanting to give away a gun. He's going to be able to save on A. Bomb planted, and Heroic wishing they were in another place, especially away from that B bomb site. The timing. Ooh. Hunter's got it. Oh, at least the damage. He's put Nico low. Nico is going to have a tough time escaping here. This SMG, it wants its money, it wants its reward, and it's running and gunning for it. Nico's been taken down. Hunter being dropped. Kenny, low HP, got to be very careful. That's an AK gifted over, but they won't get away with it. Cadian stops them, or Amanek rather, stops Cadian. And G2 won't save the gun, but they will save the round. 11-10 on the T side. Back in the lead for the first time since, well, I mean, the opening few rounds of this game.
Yeah, no off on Cadian anymore. No money for it on this Heroic side. So I wonder if we see G2 go back towards outside. If they're able to figure this out. They know the money isn't that great for Heroic. They are stacking up here. Once it gets thrown on over, but that's actually in towards A. That's going to block off main, so... It's actually not main, it's a smoke to get down the vent, but no one's committed to that. Nothing more than a bit of a ruse here from G2. Nico getting up on top of the blue bit, peeking over. Does have Cadian back in garage as well. They've got a bit of a crossfire, a bit of a trade potential between the two of them. Hunter gets caught over the top of this smoke, and now Cadian's going to go through his in garage. I think they've seen him. They're spamming him down. Stown has found a man over by main, and Cadian drop. Nico does get a trade. He goes 1-for-1, but that's going to keep this in favor of Heroic. And one by one, G2 just get picked apart in that round there.
Yeah, just looking for fights, right? And Heroic have so many players on the yard. 2 garage side, they have Stown and Main just being a nuisance, and Heroic really good at just jiggling, pivoting, and taking kills. Doesn't help that that first fight comes through as a smoke fades. Amanek kills the garage player, but then because the smoke fades in Main, Stown instantly trades and just goes on a tear, getting 3. And that's broken the money of G2. This game is so weird, so back and forth. Neither team has been in control of this map at all. Like, no one has been safe. No one has been holding a convincing lead. Every time someone gets ahead of the other team, they lose the next round. And yeah, it's just not clear where this one's going. G2 have to work on Heroic's map pick. I mean, this really sets us up for a 3-map affair, but I don't think that's a surprise given not only the level of these teams, but the fact that Heroic have clearly come into DreamHack Masters very prepared. 11 all eco for G2, trying to cross outside with not a nade to their name. They could just try and fight A main if they want. That might just be the best case scenario. Good grenade from Cadian. What damage will it find? Nothing. It's down to the rifle instead. Bomb drop very deep, in fact, for Cadian. He can pivot and try and find a little more value from this gun. Spotted 2 more outside. Kenny gets a quick shot. Cadian again, not biting the head armor potentially, and that's going to come back to bite him 1 by 1. G2 are falling in this round, and Stan will have no problem ridding the last of his life. Nexa getting hunted, and it's a shotgun to do the dirty. 12 to 11, Heroic in the lead, but for how much longer?
Well, attack ports called in from G2. They got to try and figure this out. Right now, Nexa leading in a very, very big way. 27 kills on the squad. Approaching that 30 bomb. Top fragger in the server by a large margin. And we want to see a bit more from the rest of G2. They can get the AWP in this round if they would like. It's not really been much of a mainstay here over on the T side. Heroic now in the lead. And G2, they know time is starting to slip away from them. Heroic are trying to run away with this series, or this map rather. And what is the solution going to be? Outside control really hasn't been working for G2 that reliably. They've kind of been hinging on Heroic making mistakes out on this side of the map, and Heroic just haven't been giving these kills over. And in this round, actually, it looks like we could have a man going aggressive. Stown over in main, actually, instead. He's hidden in the back right. And so instead, Cadian's holding outside this round with an AUG from CT Sport, just watching this very, very narrow angle. Now, this is great as long as no smokes go down. But I don't see a world in which you take outside without any smokes going down, Hugo.
Not with rifles, not at all. Not considering how much G2 have been punished in this outside area in the past. So they're looking to do some punishing of their own. Amanek is alone, though, behind the red box, throwing grenades and keeping up appearances in the yard. G2 are going to group up back towards the ramp room. Oh, this is a bit of a read from Heroic. They're not falling for this. G2 have gone for a lot of outside fakes in this game, and Heroic are ready with 2 on the ramp. Make it a third. Cadian's come on rotation. Tess is fighting from CT with a bit of a spray. Cadian re-peeking. He gets 1. Nico's still here, and he's not died. Flick from Hunter. Ridiculous shot, keeping G2 in a 2-on-2 in this round, and now Amanek's lurk outside can come into great effect. He hears the vent drop. He knows one's lower. Borum's about to show his hand, though, and now all the info is in the hands of Hunter. 1-on-2 for the ace clutch against Heroic.
Yeah, this would be wild. We needed someone to step up alongside Nexa, and if Hunter's that man, like he so often is, then let's do it. Hunter, he needs the ace. He needs this 1v2, and it's not going to happen. Borup deletes him on the first peak. Stown is never even needed, and a defuse is going to come through for Heroic. Looking to loot some weapons. Nothing presents itself, so they're going to let Borup grab that defuse. He has earned it.
Small victories, as well as a round, which is obviously appreciated by Heroic. And now, this is their map pick, Harry. They're set up with a 13-11 lead. Vertigo, the second map of the series, a map Heroic have played once since forming this roster. We have no idea what to make of that. G2, it's been a good and a bad map for them. They're currently on a 4-loss streak. So, yeah, there's that to worry about, certainly, with Heroic potentially, setting up for a 2-0 here. But knowing G2 should have the depth on that map. But I'm just recalling that North game where that didn't really show through, where North were able to just take a victory on the CT side with a lot of standard rounds, and G2 not really adapting too much on that T side, which is where we often see them do so well. I just don't want more of that from G2. If they're going to fall in this map, I hope they bring their A game on Vertigo today. Heroic set up with an anti-eco. G2 barely any investment. They got util behind the pistols and some light kev on 2, but right now Heroic just waiting in the wings. Cadian, first time we've seen the AWP outside in the secret as well, this deep in the game. It shouldn't get seen, it shouldn't get spotted, at least not here now, because G2 are fully stacked inside, apart from Amanek on his constant lurks. You can drop main roof, for example, come in on this flank. That is pretty common if G2 want to take upper. Feeling out the ramp room, but remember, not only are there 2 players there, but Stown could play that quick rotate from heaven. Right now he's occupied towards the hut, throwing in some util. G2 spotting ramp side, keeping Heroic at position, and if anything, just jumping and doing that like Jax is, keeps 2 at ramp. That weakens the A site, but as I say that, Nico's begun a rotation. He's gone up the ladder and he's in A now, so this is a good time to hit ramp. Cadian's coming from lower, he's swapped position, leaving the outside open because G2 has shown no presence there all round, and now with 20 seconds they got to go.
They have to. They've got to make their mind up. They've got to go for this play, at the very least, just to die. Yes. And 15 seconds. This is weird, man. They're going to try and go down to B. They might be afforded a bomb plant at a bare minimum, but even if a kill comes into this bomb, that is the round gone for G2. Dear. And they do manage to find the plant. Down to a 2-on-2. Nico keeps it in the advantage of Heroic. It's very, very back and forth here down towards the B site. Somehow, some way, G2 have gotten a bomb plant. Nexa on for the 30 bomb, and he needs it if he wants to win this round. The wrap is good, and he has removed the man. It's all on to Nico in a 1v1. He taps the bomb, and he's up against Nexa, who's on 30. Molly's been retrieved, and the round should be denied on the back of that Molotov. Nico still hanging around, and Nexa takes them all to the grave with him. 31-17 on Nexa, and a 12th round for G2. There's still a chance yet.
How many eco wins? Someone needs to do the maths. I've lost count. 4, 5 maybe at this point. And that wasn't even like a force buy or like a big investment for G2. They had 2 keved players, a MAC-10, 4 pistols, and a few flashes and smokes. That ramp burst, the pop flash doesn't even work. The player just got caught rotating and was overwhelmed by the pistols and the deegs. G2 dropped B with 15 seconds. Last time they did that, Heroic had a full setup there. This time, because it's so late, and because Heroic had rotated Nico back up onto the A site, they are late to B. G2 are able to get a plant, and Nex is able to clutch out a 1-on-2. Great work from him, keeping up appearances. You know, as soon as I saw him in the clutch with 30 kills or with 29, I mean, you basically know it's done. A lock-in for G2. A 12th round, a chance to keep this game going still. And Heroic, well, they're going to give them an eco round. Down with an AWP board up in this one. A bit of a risk. We've seen these rounds be won, though, in the past off of just a hero AWP, but Stown's really going to have to pop off in this one. He's dropped secret early, going to go fight towards outside. And what this does mean, if G2 go for a same round like last, and they don't show any outside presence, Stown can just save. But that's not the case for this one. G2 have a few boys moving through the yard, and Stown might have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, he's got Cadian with him as well. Cadian donning that smoke is going to be able to help bail Stown out. And, you know, worst case scenario, if Stown falls, Cadian's going to be able to retrieve that off. And that's not even that bad if you're Heroic. Now, outside, the kills actually get split pretty evenly. Stown deletes one through the secret smoke, never even sees him. And that's going to keep a 2-on-3 available here to Heroic.
Ooh.
Stown's ordering Cadian to go up first. Cadian is obliging, so that's how you know he's a real team player. Could have just baited the AWP, but that's the difference between Cadian
and you
and me. And so now Cadian going to set himself up inside of 8. Cadian's kind of like, you know, like an alarm system, right? Like you think about that, you know, people get them put on their homes, someone tries to get in, the alarm goes off, and it's going to notify the proper people. And in this case, the proper person is Stown. So the Cadian alarm starts blaring, and Stown,
he might just let his home
he actually might just say, you know what? I finished my shift in a matter of minutes. I think I might just give this one a miss. He's going to hold on to the AWP down at B. G2, a 13th on the board, tying this one up.
And that's the thing, like, you know, this is going to have big consequences, but I don't know for whom, because I don't know what to expect from Vertigo, from that T-side of G2, for the entire game for Heroic. A lot of Danes have made, you know, Vertigo a home map. And that's good, right? North looked really good on it. They beat G2 yesterday in this series, so we know it's there, we know it's available. And we expect Heroic to have, you know, some level of capability on it, but G2 right now, they might be setting up for what could be a 2-0. I think either team has the ability to beat their next map. You know, obviously, that's kind of a null and void statement in and of itself. Anyone can win. I'm very inclusive, aren't I? But yeah, you know, I don't know where, because I feel like whoever wins this map is likely setting up for a 2-0, you know, very possibly. But at the same vein, you know, it could fall apart. So let's just wait and see. Let's not theorize. Let's not suspect. Let's find out.
I mean, you did say one thing, right? That's either team can win. Yeah. And that is usually how this works.
It's definitely true in this game.
It really is though, right? 13-13, and a lot of it is hinging. More particularly, a lot of it is hinging on this round for Heroic. If they don't pick this up, they go 14-13 down. They've got no money. They're staring down the barrel of an eco up against 14 rounds. And that wouldn't be the same situation G2 find themselves in if they lose this round. So pressure's really on here for the Danes. They've had the lead all game long. It feels like they've been able to claw their way back into this one. And it was them sitting in the lead. Well, now it could elude them if this round doesn't go their way. Nico has come in with a big old kill out here outside, though, and taken an early man advantage. G2 trying to play this one in a 4-on-5, and it's quite the man to lose as well. Hunter might not be top of the board for G2, but you can't argue with, especially on this T side, he's had a lot of impactful rounds. And so what can the rest of the gang do to pick up the pieces? Everyone's blind. This is chaotic. Amanek, how on earth does he win that? Cadian still inside of the site, still ready to be a nuisance. And oh, bomb plant not denied. But however, it's all onto Kenny in a 1-on-3. It's not the easiest spot for this man to be in. It was his birthday yesterday. Let's see if he's feeling nice and fancy for us today. Kenny S, first kill coming in. He's looking for even more, and they are pressuring him. They overwhelm Kenny. Defuse Heroic, and 14 on the board. But with a bomb plant for G2, with the loss bonus, tally still ticking over a little bit. And with residual cash in these bank accounts, there will be a buy available to the G2 squad up against 14.
That's kind of what we want, right? You don't want anyone to get broken at this late in the game when both teams have poured their heart out, winning and losing eco rounds, doing everything they need to. At least we have full guns for what will be the last couple of rounds of at least regulation. Overtime is still a possibility. It's how we opened this show yesterday with Astralis and Heroic. Maybe Heroic just love plus 30 round games. Maybe they're going to give us one of them today. Right now holding the lead, not looking to lose anymore. Nade on the door, Cadian's going to fight for it. You don't often see CTs blowing that one out, so Cadian very keen for kills here for Heroic, especially with the AWP in his hands. Why wouldn't he be? He's going to go for it. Oh, Cadian, what a heroic play. He's going to be able to get away with a frag onto Jackson, a drop down vent with the smoke on the door. Actually not even needed. Heroic hang around. Cadian smokes and drops instead. He knows he doesn't need his as much for B, whereas Stan would like to hold on to his for later on. Cadian can just, you know, win fights on that B bomb site with the AWP rather than just constantly smoking off the choke points. Combined with the fact that G2 currently aren't outside, makes more sense. But they might be outside because the smokes are going to land. G2 will move through. Got that Mac 10 leading, Amanek. We talk about how, you know, yesterday we saw a fun fact, more Mac 10 kills from this man than Glock and USP kills combined. It's not as much as a surprise when you think about how much he's on this gun in rifle rounds. He's not going to go behind those smokes outside. Cadian knows it. He's already B, so Tessa spots the ramp play, and he knows that someone from G2 is here, but it's only a ruse. 3 coming out the A site into this crossfire. Oh. Terrorists win. Yeah. We talk about the opportunities available and the money still being there while G2 lose the round they need most, and that's the result of it. Broken up against Matt Point of Heroic's pick, next to 33 kills. He's on a Deeg. 15-13. And Nico, he's got the info. He just spotted a bunch down on B. That's the bomb as well. So now a full rotate can come through. Heroic they know they need to play for this lower bomb site. Tesses is here. He doesn't know how deep they are. They've already opened the door and pushed close. He's got fumbling with nades. He could die to this. Luckily, Nico's got the cover from the window. The smoke at the bottom of the stairs buys him time, but that time is about to expire. Grenade follows. Tesses playing out of the site. Nico's been finished off by a grenade of Amanex choosing, and Katie finds an AWP kill. Bomb plant in and retake on for Heroic.
Oh, Borup and his auto shotgun making quick work of the first man, but Hunter is able to swing. 2-on-3, G2 desperate to keep themselves afloat here on Nuke. And Amanek gets caught in the back. All the pressure's on to Hunter now, and he spots this first man, but they know where he is. He knows where they are. And three of them outweigh the one of Hunter. Defuse is going to come on through, and it's Heroic taking their map pick 16-13 over the G2 squad. Heroic setting us up for an exciting series now. All right, I'm starting to believe in the Heroic boys. I came in today thinking that this was going to be a G2 series. Well, now I'm not too sure. I really liked what we just got to see there on the Heroic side.
That was really, really good. I mean, Heroic impressed us yesterday, right? You know, you always kind of forget about the game when the team doesn't win, but the fact that they take Astralis, even with Yugi, to an overtime, to a 16-14 loss, Heroic showed a competitive game yesterday, and now they one up that. Now they take a map off of G2. We move to Vertigo, a map that G2 have picked, yes, but are also on a 4-loss streak on. So a bit of worrying waters for G2, perhaps. We'll see what our analysts make of it, of course, after the break. So do join us for that second map in just a moment.